Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to all my new subscribers. It's lovely to have you here and be part of our gang. We're building up a really lovely group on Facebook, and I've got a few followers now on Instagram too, which is really lovely. So welcome to all of you and to all my other lovely subscribers that have stuck with me. So the lovely Kirsty over at Kirsty Colour and Sketch tagged me in the this or that tag. So I thought, while I was answering the questions, and there's quite a few and you know how indecisive I can be, that I would continue colouring the picture that I'm currently doing. So I've had this book for a long time and never dared to get it out, and I don't know, something just clicked in my brain this morning and I thought I need to do that picture. So as you'll know, Bennet Klein's books are on Amazon paper and I hate it, so I've printed it out onto some cardstock, and this is as far as I've got. So I'm working on this little guy. Isn't he gorgeous? I just love this image. There's so many Bennet Kleins that I want to do, and in fact I've emailed him this morning and asked him how I can go about purchasing his images. I can't find them, I'm too thick. So thank you to Kirsty, bless her heart, for tagging me. It was really lovely of you. And I believe, I hope I'm saying this right, that the creator of the tag was Michaela Renee. And I will put Kirsty's link down below so you can check her channel out. And I'll also put Michaela's link in. And she's a channel I'm going to have to go and check out myself as well. So let's go over and show the love, shall we? Okay. So I'm currently just using my polychromos, and I've got a burnt umber, and I'm just following Bennett's The Darkest Lines. So, question number 1. Okay, alcohol markers or water-based markers? Well, I suppose it would depend on what book you're colouring in, for a start, because if it's double-sided you can't use your alcohol markers. Because they bleed through, whereas water-based markers won't. The problem that I've got in this question is that water-based markers are great, but they streak, and I hate that. I like my pictures to look smooth. So what I would have to say is alcohol markers, but only if like this, I've been able to print the image off. I wouldn't use them otherwise. And as for water-based markers, I do have Crayola Super Tips. I'm just not a fan. They would probably be fine for me to use the way I colour, for just little accents and things, but I wouldn't want to colour a whole page. So I'm going to have to say alcohol markers. And if you have watched my How to Revive Your Alcohol Markers hack, you'll know that mine were pretty dried out, and thanks to a wonderful subscriber I brought some rubbing alcohol and I revived them. So I'm hoping to be able to use them. I've only got a cheap, I've got the La Manche skin tone ones, and I've got what are they called? Touch New markers. So I don't have anything spectacular. I would love to try blending with Copics. I'd love to have a go with that on a printed out page. So yeah, alcohol markers. I'm waffling, aren't I? Shall I bring you in a little bit closer just so you can see more of what I'm doing? Okay, number 2. Jade Summer Greyscale or Jade Summer Line Art. Well, I think those of you that know me and have followed me, you'll know that I am a huge Greyscale fan. And do you know what? This is terrible, but I have to admit, I don't even know if I've got a Jade Summer book. I don't know if I do. I'll have to have a look through. But it would definitely be Greyscale, without a shadow of doubt. I just like... I mean, people are scared of Greyscale, and I think they like to put their own shading and things in, but just because the artist has given you those lines doesn't mean that you can't add more yourself. and change it slightly. So yeah, definitely grayscale for me. I love a bit of grayscale, especially with an artist like this, Bennt, Klein, or Tim Jeffs, or Christine Karen. You know, they're just out of this world art, and it's really nice to be able to produce something that you feel you can feel a little bit like the artist must do when they complete a fantastic page, you know. I'd never be able to draw anything like this without a light box, that is. So yeah, so the grayscale just makes me feel a little bit more artistic than I am. So that's my answer for that one. Okay. Number 3. Okay. Prismas or polys? Can you guess, people? Can you guess what I'm going to say? I am going to say my polychromos. Now, if you haven't followed me from the beginning and you weren't aware of my colouring journey, I started with caliarts. I brought a set of those. I've had cheap ones, you know, really cheap sets that were rubbish, but caliarts was my first experience of soft core wax pencils. And then the next set of pencils that I brought was the polychromos, and I think I brought 60. And I hated them. I absolutely hated them. You know, and I've said this before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself to anyone. But when I first got them, I was like, what the hell is all the fuss about? They don't lay down any colour whatsoever. And I was trying to use them like soft core wax pencils, and you just can't colour with polychromos like that. You have to just allow the colour to build. And as I practiced more with my colouring and watched more and more videos, I've thought to myself, well, there's got to be something in this. All these people love polychromos. What am I doing? What is going on? So I just gave myself more and more time, and I chose smaller images that wouldn't be so frustrating. You know, like practicing in a Rita Berman, you know, the little patterns that you get and things like that. And then eventually I moved on to things like colouring animals, and I absolutely adore them now, because the way you can layer up, like this has got 2 colours on so far, and then I'll go back in and put more colours in. And the way I colour with Prismas, just, I don't know, maybe I'm just a little heavy-handed, but I could do it with Prismas, but it's just not as an enjoyable experience. So I like the quality of the polychromos. I like the fact that they keep their point. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I do like Prismas, and I coloured Kelly O'Gorman's calendar using Prismas, and they are beautiful to colour with, but I would much rather use the polychromos if I have the option. I'm sorry about the shadow. I wonder if I put another light on. It's my big fat head in the way, people. Sorry about that. I'm just going to sharpen this up. So this paper I got from Jackson's Art, and it's really good. It's just, let me see if I can just get you the front cover. Here it is. This is the front cover. Let me zoom out slightly just so you can see, because I know people will ask me. Academia Artist paper pack. You get 150. It's 160 GSM. And it's for inkjet printers, which mine is. So drawing, design, and that's it. And it wasn't that expensive for 160, but it's from jacksonart.com. So I know people will ask. And failing that, I've been using cartridge paper, which works really well too. So let's come back in to our little mouse. Here he is, isn't he gorgeous? Oh, he's so lovely. Yeah, anyway, I'm waffling. Okay. Number 4. Oh, Hanna Karlzon or Maria Trolle. Oh my gosh. I love them both. It's a tough one. Hanna karlzon, Maria Troll's work seems to be a little bit more innocent and whimsical than Hanna karlzon's, if that makes sense. Hanna karlzon's, to me, is, you know, just seems like a little bit more daring with the subjects that she does, whereas Maria Troll's is more innocent and whimsical. I don't know how to explain it. I like the variety of Hanna karlzon's books, and I've got them all. But I've got Maria Troll's too. I don't know, it's so cruel. Michaela, I'm going to come over to your channel, subscribe, and I'm going to tell you off because this is just so darn cruel. This is not far off how cruel Kirsty's was. And if you haven't seen that, Kirsty Colour and Sketches tag was Would You Rather, and that was just as equally as cruel as this one. I am going to say Maria Troll because I like the innocence behind the images. But I also love Hanna karlzon, but I am going to pick Maria Troll. Okay, that took me long enough, didn't it? Right, okay, so we've got colour by number or non-colour by number. I don't do colour by number. I don't like how they come out. I've always wanted to do paint by number, but when you look at them, they don't look like a proper image. Do you know what I mean? They look like blocky, and it's just never appealed to me, and I'm a bit rebellious. And although I like to stick to traditional colours for things, you know, like I'm doing this little brown mouse, little brown field mouse, if I'm told to put a colour down, I would probably want to do something different. That's what I'm saying. So it's always been an issue, a little bit rebellious. So it would have to be non-colour by number. I just can't do it. And I'd love to try paint by numbers, and I probably would stick to that because you know, you've only got one shot at getting it right. And but they also, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't do it properly, they also look a little bit blocky, don't they? You know, a little bit artificial. So definitely not colour by numbers. That's my answer for that one. Definitely not. Oh dear. Number 6, mandala or patterns. I hate mandalas. I've seen a couple that aren't just patterns. I can't be doing with patterns. It just, like, what's the point to me? I don't know why. And I've seen some beautiful mandalas coloured in, but I did have a few books, and I started them and I'm like, well, what's the point? Well, I don't know what the difference is between an image like this and a mandala, because they're all going to go in a folder or, you know, be shut in a colouring book, so I'm not really sure, but I really don't like mandalas. So I don't like wallpaper pages either. God, I sound like a right moaning old bag, don't I? But if you're talking patterns, say like Rita Berman does in her books, that are not wallpaper, but they are, you know, you've got different images on each page. Like, let me grab one. I've got them to hand here, let's have a look. Like that. See, that's fine, that would be fine for me. I don't mind that at all. So that's a patterned, that's what I consider a patterned page. You know, like this kind of thing. So I would go with pattern page. Definitely not wallpaper, and definitely not mandalas. There, no. Okay, number 7. Double-sided or single-sided books. Well, I'd prefer single-sided, I think, because it doesn't matter what medium you use. You could use whatever you liked. You can paint, alcohol markers, you know, because even acrylic paint sometimes you can make an awful mess with, can't you? And you have to be really careful. So I think, thinking on that level, I would much prefer a single-sided book. But I have most of my books are double-sided. This one isn't, this is single-sided. But yeah, no, single-sided, so that you could use whatever medium you chose. Because it does restrict you unless you're willing to copy pages on what materials you use. Okay. Single page spread or double page spreads. Again, another tough one. I love the achievement of finishing a double page spread. There's nothing like it. But I'm going to have to be really boring and strict with this one. And I'm going to have to say, I don't mind either. And the reason I say that is because quite often I'll sit up here in my little art room and I pick up a book or pick up several books and flip through until I find something I really have the feel for, that I want to colour, and that's what I would go for. I would hate to force myself into doing a page because I had to, because it takes the enjoyment out of it. So I'm going to be really strict here, and I'm going to say that I can't answer either. I would much prefer just to go with my heart, to go with my feeling at the time, what I wanted to do. But I do love the achievement of finishing a double page spread. You know, like in Kirby's, when you sit back and look at what you've done. That's a lovely feeling. Okay, I'm going to move on quickly before anybody says I'm cheating. Okay, Ohuhu alcohol markers or caliart alcohol markers. Well, that's easy. I don't know, because I don't have either. Like I said, I have La Manche skin set, and I have the Touch New, and that's all I've ever had. So I really can't honestly answer that one because I don't know. Sorry about that. Okay. Number 10. Oh dear. Colour by numbers with white backgrounds or black backgrounds. Well, like I said, I don't do colour by numbers, but I have seen the colouring books that you can get that have the black background. And if I was going to choose one, I had the option between a white, I'm presuming it means the reverse side of the page. I would choose the one with the black backing, so that I had the option of using, again, whatever medium I wanted without it looking horrendous on the other side. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, there are some like Jade Summers, I think, aren't there? I'm not sure, but I've seen people use the colouring books. I've seen people colouring them that have the black backing, so I would choose those if I was going to. Okay, white Posca pen or white gel pen, and I have both of those. I do. I'm going to turn him round, and I have the Arteza white gel pens. I have Sakura Jelly Roll. I have what are they called? Uniball Signo, which I really like that one. But I'm gonna have to say the white Posca, because it doesn't let you down. They all struggle. It doesn't matter how good the pens are, they all struggle to go over wax or oil-based pencils. Like, they clog up, and you have to. I do it on my hand to get it rerunning again. Posca does too, to an extent, but it gives you that really good opaque white. You do have the risk of it blotching though. It's a tough one. I was going to say Posca, but actually the risk of them blotching is quite high. You know, you get the splat on your page. And I quite like the Arteza gel pens for the different sizes that you can get. I like the Sakura jelly roll for its lovely fine lines that you can get. I think I'll go with gel pen because, changing my mind again, told you I was indecisive. I'm going to go with gel pen because there are a lot of different varieties. You can get it re-rolling. It can be frustrating, I know, when it clogs up on you, but it's less likely to blotch on your page than a posca. So I'm going to say gel pen. That took a long time, didn't it, for me to work that one out. Right, where are we now? Number 12. Morning colouring or nighttime colouring. I think I've answered this in a tag before. Sorry, just concentrating a minute around his little feet. I'm sure I've answered this. And I would say nighttime colouring. And the reason I say that is because the working day is over. Any responsibility that you've got is also over. So your housework's done, your working day is done. I'm just trying to see where else I haven't been. Your working day is done. And anything that anybody needs you for is over, you know. So in our first lockdown here in the UK, I would sit up till the early hours of the morning colouring because it was just so relaxing because you knew nobody was going to call you and say, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? I need this, I need that. Where's this? Where's that? You know, all those daily things. So I like to be able to settle down and do my colouring and know that there's not going to be any disturbance. I can just get on with it. So definitely nighttime colouring. I'm just bringing in a little bit of raw umber now. Okay, where were we? Morning colouring or nighttime colouring. Okay, Jade Summer Chibi Girls or April Amber Chibi Girls. Well, folks, I don't have either. I know I'm a bit rubbish, aren't I? I don't have either. I like the look of them. I really do like, you know, the look of them. But there's always been so many other different colouring books that I've wanted as a priority, and so that's probably why I've never got one. But they don't really stand out to me as something I would want to do. Oh, I'm sorry, I was right off camera then. I just, you know, I don't know, it's odd. I like realism. So like this picture, we know that fairies don't I'm not allowed to say that, am I? Well, they die, don't they? You can't say you don't believe in fairies. Or they die. So we know that this is not a real picture and it's not likely to happen, but the way it's been drawn is so beautiful that it makes the colouring experience so lovely. So that's probably why I've never gone for one of those books, because there's just so many others that I want to do and they just don't feel like a priority to me. And I'm waffling. So if I had to choose, I've never heard of April Amber. Sorry, April Amber, I've never heard of you. So Jade Summer I know is a trademark, and there's lots and lots of books out there by Jade Summer. So I would probably, if I was going to look for a Chibi Girls one, it would be Jade Summer, just because I've seen a lot of you do her pages and, you know, you all seem to like her work. So I'd probably go with that. Okay, Alan Robert or Emelie Lidehall Oberg. God, this is awful. I don't know who Alan Robert is. Can anybody tell me in the comments? I'll have to look it up. I don't know who Alan Robert is. I do have one of Emelie's books. I'm going to have to say her because I don't know who Alan Robert is. Do you know what? I could be saying he could be one of these most masterful greyscale artists, and I don't know, so I will go over it and find out. But I'm going to have to say Emelie because at the moment I don't know. Okay. Okay, having double images in one book or one copy of each illustration. Well, you know me and you know my fluff ups, and I'm the first to admit that I do fluff up. These things happen, and so to have a second copy in a book is brilliant. However, a lot of the books that do have a second copy of the image in are usually, as far as I'm aware, mostly on Amazon paper, and I would reprint them anyway. But yes, it's lovely to have a second copy, so I'm going to say second copy. Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh, number 16, folks. Oh dear. Joanna Basford. Okay, are you ready for this? Or Kirby Roseanne's. That's just cruel. I love Joanna Basford's work, and I've got her new book on pre-order, ready to come to me. I also adore Kirby Roseanne's, and I've got his book on pre-order coming to me. And if I could only have one and they were going to take the choice away from me for a lifetime, I could only have Kirby or Joanna, I'm afraid it would be a Kirby. I just love his work. I love his book. I love the paper that he prints on. It's like magic paper. And I just love... I love the intricacy of his designs. He's a fabulous artist. I don't know if you've seen his work on Instagram, where he's lately been showing, or it might not be lately, it might be he does it all the time, but for me, I've just noticed that he's doing small video clips of his tattoos, and oh my god, I don't have any tattoos myself, but if I was going to have one, I would have to be visiting that Mr. Roseanne's. He is just a master. So, and although I do like Joanna Basford very much, yeah, it would be the Curbster. He wins every time, I'm afraid. Yeah, definitely the Curbster. Okay, pastel backgrounds or acrylic paint backgrounds? That's a really good question. I like that question. And for me, and how overly self-critical I am, and how much I lack in confidence, I'm going to have to say my pastel backgrounds, because I could use the pan pastels. We've got the pastel sticks. You've got the birthday suit. Jane Davenport is what I'm trying to think of. You've got the Jane Davenport pastels. There's all sorts of different pastels, and with stencils and different tools, you can make backgrounds look very, very different. And acrylic paint is very final. Now, should you fluff your acrylic paint up, short of going over it in a darker cut, or, well, no, you can go back over it once it's dry, but it just seems very final to me. I have done acrylic paint backgrounds, but usually only one or two colours, and that's because, like I say, I lack in confidence, and I like the fact that you can put pastels down and erase them if you're not happy. Hope that makes sense. I'm not just talking rubbish. So I'm going to bring that out. Sorry, I'm just trying to... yeah, so I would pick pastels. I love the things that you can do with pastel pencils in particular, and yeah, just all the variety. Okay, Hanna Lynn or Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. Now, I love Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. I can't even say her name. Griffiths work. I really do. But something about it terrifies me. I'm not very good at doing it. And Hanna has so many gorgeous designs, as does Jasmine, but Hanna are more fairy tale, whimsical, and can be however you want them to be. I know it's not making much sense, but to me the Hanna art is easier to colour than Jasmine's. And so I'm going to say, for the sake of waffling, Hanna, because I don't really know what the issue is with Jasmine and the fear that I have. I think it's when I first started colouring, I got her colouring book and messed so many up in it. Or I felt I messed so many up in it. People have seen them in everything I've ever coloured and they quite like them, but it kind of scared me off. So I'm going to say Hanna. Right, what's next? Oh no! That's a really good question. Number 19 is Amazon or Etsy? Oh gosh. I love Etsy because you can get support great artists that you won't find on Amazon. But the postage is very high on a lot of those. I was scammed on Etsy as well. I had to open a dispute and I did thankfully win my money back, but I ordered a product and it never arrived. And obviously they're very good. They shut the accounts down should that happen. But I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't have half the colouring supplies that I have if I didn't have Etsy, Amazon. But then I wouldn't have half the colouring books that I have if I didn't have Etsy. Like all the PDFs and... Oh, I'm going to have to say Amazon, just purely for the fact that I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of dark Naples yellow in him, just purely for the fact that in the UK we have art shops like Hobbycraft, and that's really about it. We don't have, like I know in America you talk about Joann's, and I've seen videos of it and they just look amazing. We don't have that kind of places here, which is a bit crap. Well, it's a lot rubbish actually. But you go on Amazon, you can get anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Gosh, I don't know what's the matter with me today. My husband's at home very poorly at the minute, and we are awaiting COVID test results for him, and as a result I've not been allowed to go to school. So I think I'm probably, you're getting the brunt of me being a bit lonely maybe. So sorry about that. But I'm going to say Amazon. I'm going to say Amazon because most things you can get on there, can't you? You know, there's only a handful of things I've ever not found on there. Okay. Glitter gel pens or stickles? Well, my poor little stickle collection consists of one actual stickles and 1, 2, 3 of the little glitter glues. I've got some of the others, but if you saw my haul video, they kind of splat. You have to be very careful with them. And I've got glitter gel pens, and I do like them. I really do. But there's nothing quite like stickles for glamming up your page. And they really do shine and glitter, don't they? They are beautiful. I'm sorry, you're off the page again. So I'm gonna say stickles because they're just so glitzy and glamorous. Okay, hardback or soft cover? If I could click my fingers and have the choice to change any of my colouring books from paperback or softback to hardback, I would change them to hardback. And you know, this is a little bit snobby, I have to admit, but just don't they look lovely on the bookshelf? Hardback books, they really do. Like, I've got all my Hanna karlzons and my Maria trolls and the one Clara Markova that I own on my bookshelf, all the hardbacks together, and they just look so lovely and far more durable. They last longer. They're usually bound a little bit better too. So hardbacks it is. I need to put my pencil down for a minute because seems I can't talk and colour. Okay, simple pages or intricate pages. It depends on what you call simple, because something like this, or although it's beautifully drawn, I'm just putting a little bit of ivory in now just to help blend those colours in. Although it's absolutely flawlessly drawn, I didn't look at it and think, oh gosh, that's going to take me weeks to do. It's a kind of a quick sort of relaxing page. So it depends on what, you know, people have. Like Kirsty said in her video, and she's right, you know, there's people will interpret intricacy differently depending on what you enjoy to colour in. And the mood you're in as well. But I like I said before, I like the achievement that you have. Right, put the pencil down, Lisa, because I can't talk. I like the achievement of sitting back and having completed a intricate page. So I'm going to say intricate, and I think not always, you know, like I say, it depends on what mood you're in, but the achievement that you get when you've tackled a really complicated page with lots and lots of bits in it. So I'm going to say intricate. Okay, now question number 23 is Christmas page or Halloween? Well, if you are new to my channel, you might not know this, but for those of you that are regular followers of mine, for which I thank every one of you, you know that I am Christmas mad. I love Christmas, everything about Christmas. Well, I did until this year. You know, it was a bit pants this year, wasn't it? But and I did get a bit fed up colouring my Christmas pages, to be fair. But I do like Halloween stuff, but not on the scale that I like cutesy and traditional pictures. I'm a bit of an old-fashioned style of girl, I think, and so Christmas pages, definitely, absolutely, for sure. Right, let me just move you out so you can see how far I've got on my little mouse. Isn't he adorbs, as they say, or as my kids say at school? It's been an absolute blast answering these questions. I'm sorry that I've waffled for a lot of it, but thank you so much for your company, and Kirsty for tagging me in this. And I will... Sorry to cut in, folks. I was waffling on. I ended the video, and then it dawned on me when I went to edit it that I hadn't even tagged anyone. So apologies. I think it's a bit... I'm a bit concerned about my husband and test results and things, so I'm just getting consumed in all my colouring, so apologies for that. So there's a couple of people that I would like to see do this tag. First and foremost, Pat and Wilson. Pat is a wonderful lady who is always so lovely to me in the comments. She's very sweet and her colouring is beautiful. So if you haven't checked out her channel, go and find her. She's just recovering from eye surgery, so I wish you all the best, Pat, and I hope you're recovering really well. I want to see your answers to this. The second one is the lovely Emma Colours 2020, of course, my super fan Emma, and I'm fast becoming one of yours. So can I see your answers to this, please? And thirdly, I would like to open it out. The person, Michaela, who's started this tag, is a new channel on here, and I think I've been over and subscribed and had a look at her channel, and she's really sweet, and she does other things other than just colouring, so go and have a look at her channel. But I'd like to open it out to new channels or anybody on YouTube that would love to join in, and just for a bit of fun, so we can all see what you're colouring and what your thoughts are on these pages. So please feel free to join in and take part. Please, if you do, mention Michaela's channel and that I tagged you in the video. That would be really helpful to everybody's channel involved. So thank you all so much for your time and keeping me company, like I said. I'll see you in the next couple of days, maybe with a poll to choose what we're going to colour, or if you've got any suggestions, like I said, let me know. All right, folks, I've kept you long enough. Take really good care of yourselves, and I'll see you all really soon. Bye-bye.